Hello and welcome to Code Culture. My name is Michele and I'm your host. Today I'm going to review for you the classic Barbour Bedale jacket, which is a jacket that was officially launched in 1980, which is a long time ago. For one reason or another, I never owned a Barbour Bedale until a few weeks ago, but I decided to add it to my collection. Because I own so many other Barbour jackets that I've reviewed in separate videos that you can find linked on the screen somewhere and in the links below, I actually am able to compare this jacket with the Beaufort jacket, the Ashby jacket, the Beacon Sport jacket. So my objective today is to review the features of the Barbour Bedale jacket and also to answer the questions of whether this jacket makes sense in 2025. Or if there are alternatives that are better suited to today's life. By the way, if you're new here, welcome. I post reviews mostly of jackets and coats almost every week. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing because it definitely helps the channel. The Barbour Bedale was launched in 1980. And it was specifically designed by Margaret Barbour with the idea of offering a lightweight jacket that could be used for horse riding, but also to do chores around the barn. So this jacket is both a horse riding jacket and a chore jacket, and it has features of both. Now, the Bedale jacket is 45 years old, and I need you to take a moment and think about how far in time that is. The number one song in the UK at the time was The Winner Takes It All by ABBA, and in the US it was Call Me by Blondie. And if you went to the movies that year, you probably were going to watch The Empire Strikes Back of the Star Wars saga.
I am your father.
Now, if you think about it, there aren't many jackets that were launched in the 80s that are still worn today without any modifications. And this is due to the fact that the fashion, especially around jackets of the 80s, was very different with gigantic shoulder pads and a specific silhouette that is not really appealing nowadays. However, the Barbour Bedale jacket, together with the Beaufort jacket, are two of those jackets that are still sold today exactly as they were 45 years ago. It's not an exaggeration to say that this jacket, together with the Beaufort jacket, turned Barbour into the fashion behemoth that it is today. The fact that the features of this jacket were conceived for horse riding and to do works around the barn does not mean that the same features cannot be enjoyed in everyday city life. And in fact, the fact that this practicality transferred to everyday city life made this jacket so successful, to the point that pretty much everybody who owns a Barbour jacket owns either a Beaufort or a Bedale jacket. So let's review these features. The jacket is made of 6-ounce wax cotton, which is the same material which is used in many other Barbour jackets, including the Beaufort, the Ashby, the Beacon Sport. This jacket in particular is treated with the so-called thornproof treatment. Barbour has two waxing treatments. One is called thornproof, one is called silk oil. There are a few differences. First and foremost, the way that they make the jackets look and feel. The thornproof treatment, which I have on this jacket, makes the jacket very shiny and also very stiff, especially when it's new or when you just applied the waxing treatment. Whereas the silk oil treatment that you can find on jackets such as the Ashby or the Beacon Sport gives more of a matte finish and a softer feel to the jacket, almost as if it was much older. Another major difference is that the thornproof treatment makes the jacket much more waterproof and much more resistant to scratches and tear, whereas the silk oil treatment makes the jacket a little more fragile and less waterproof. However, on the other hand, the silk oil treatment makes the jacket a little warmer, if that's something that interests you. No matter what the waxing treatment is, over time this treatment will go away and the jacket will start to dry out and develop that patina that everybody seems to love about Barbour jackets. And I will talk more about patina in a minute. In terms of practical features, you can find the very large bellow pockets, which are present also in other Barbour jackets like the Beaufort, for instance, or even the Ashby. and they are very spacious, and you can definitely store many things in it. The jacket also has the classic hand warming pockets that are lined with moleskin and that are very, very pleasant to the touch. But that's about it in terms of pockets. This jacket does not have the game pocket that the Barbour Beaufort has, and that makes sense because this is a horse riding jacket. But it doesn't even have that pocket which I love in the Barbour Beaufort, which is right under the flap here, and that allows you to store a phone or a wallet and not having to open your jacket to reach for it. The jacket has these vents in the back which allows to open and give more space to you when you're sitting on a horse. Like most Barbour jacket, the Bedale has a corduroy collar, which is very pleasant to the touch, and it also has a storm flap that you can cinch up when it's very cold or when there is a lot of wind so that you don't get wet. The collar also has buttons that let you attach the hood that you can buy separately. The liner is 100% cotton pretty much everywhere with the exception of the lower part, which is in polyester. The polyester was added by design so that when this part of the jacket gets in contact with a sweaty horse, it doesn't get too wet and it doesn't transmit that wetness to the rest of the liner. So it's a feature specifically designed for that. The liner also has the classic zipper that lets you zip the internal pile that Barbour sells separately. The jacket has knit cuffs that are very pleasant to the touch and are the same color of the jacket. In my case, it's a beautiful green, military green that goes very well with the sage color of the jacket. And this is designed so that the jacket is actually a little warmer. However, I actually don't particularly like this feature because I actually wear very large watches. The cuffs here interferes with the watch and makes it a little uncomfortable. But that's very much a me problem, not a jacket's problem. Now, this jacket is made in England, like the label says, and it's one of the very few Barbour jackets that are still made in England. Now, I always say that I have no problems with the labor skills of the countries where Barbour manufactures some of the other jackets, like Moldavia or Bangladesh, but my problem is always with the pricing. You should not charge UK prices if you're paying Moldovan salaries. And that's a problem I have with a lot of other Barbour jackets, but not with this one, because at least it's made in the UK, and I'm happy about it. And also, if you think about it, when you're buying a Barbour jacket, you're buying into the whole Britishness, the cool Britannia thing of this thing. And part of it is for it to be made in the UK. Now let's talk about the fit and the styling of this jacket. I am a size 40 regular in American clothing, 50 in Italian, and my Beaufort jacket is 40, my Ashby is an XL, so I bought the 40 regular and it fits me perfectly. The jacket definitely has a loose fit, as you can see, and it's ideal for layering. Right now, I am wearing it with a shirt and a thick sweater, and you can see that I have a lot of room. I would say that if I compare it to the Beaufort, this seems to have more of a bell shape. As you can see, it's actually tighter right here on the shoulders, but it proceeds to become wider as it goes towards the bottom. Now, this is a problem, especially if you're thinking of getting this jacket as your winter jacket, because I've been using it for the past couple of weeks in the Chicago weather. We have approximately 10 degrees Celsius, like 45 Fahrenheit. And when there is even just a little bit of wind, there is a lot of cold air coming from underneath. This is something that I do not have with the Barbour Beaufort, which is a little longer, and I do not have it with the Ashby. But with this jacket, you can really feel the difference. As soon as there is a little bit of wind, there is a lot of cold air coming from underneath. Now, because this jacket is pretty short, you cannot wear it with a suit or a sport coat. Because as you can see here, when you try and do that, the sport coat will do peekaboo from underneath the Bedale. To me, this makes the Bedale jacket less versatile than the Beaufort jacket for sure. because the Beaufort jacket is a jacket that you can dress up or down, but that you can also wear with a sport coat or a suit. Whereas the Bedale definitely can be dressed up or down. You can put dress pants, you can wear it with a nice cardigan, but you can definitely not wear it with a suit without it showing underneath. So that's something to keep in mind if that's what you're looking for. Now let's talk about the issues and problems that I have with this jacket. Some of these problems are specific to the Bedale jacket, whereas others are common to pretty much every other Barbour jacket. And let's start with the ladders, with those that are common to every Barbour jacket. First of all, you need to pay attention to wax migration, especially when the jacket is new and it's so oily like this one is. You will see that the wax is migrating to other textiles. So it will migrate to your pants, but also especially to your car. And if you make the mistake I made yesterday of turning on the heated seats, then you're gonna see a lot of wax transferring to the seat of that car. That's something to keep in mind also when the jacket is not new anymore and you have just re-waxed it. You're gonna have the same problem. The second issue is that the waxing treatment is subject to wear and tear. It will go away over time so that the jacket will become less protected from the elements and from wear and tear. And you will have to apply the waxing treatment regularly. I cannot tell you what regularly means. Regularly is really dependent on how much you use it and how you use it. It could be as often as once every 6 months or as little as once every 5 years. But you will have to rewax this jacket at a certain point. And yes, as the jacket wears and loses that waxing treatment, it will develop that patina that everybody loves. But I always repeat that you do not want patina. The moment you have patina on your jacket, that means that that jacket needs rewaxing. It means that it's not as waterproof as it should be, and it means that the cotton has lost the oil that protects it and could tear and form holes very easily. So as soon as you see that patina, remember that your jacket is screaming for attention and it needs to be rewaxed. Now, there are a couple of issues that are specific to this jacket. First of all, I've already mentioned that the storm cuffs will interfere with your watch if you, like me, like large watches. This is not a problem that only this jacket has. Every jacket that has storm cuffs like this will give you the same troubles of the watch getting caught and really bothering your wrist. I hate it on every jacket. And that's why I actually like the Barbour Beaufort better, because it doesn't have the storm cuffs and the watch can actually float around, no issues. Again, this is very much a me problem. If you like smaller watches or you don't wear a watch, you won't have any problem. Secondly, I already mentioned that the shape of this jacket, this bell shape that makes it very large towards the bottom, means that this jacket is definitely not as warm as it could be. So if you're thinking of buying this jacket as your winter jacket, you should be looking elsewhere. In particular, you should be looking at the Beaufort, if you like the thornproof treatment, because it's a little longer so that you have less air coming in from underneath. Or you should be looking at the Ashby jacket. Although the Ashby jacket has problems on its own if you look at it from a winter point of view, because it has a seam right here on the sleeves that makes it completely useless in case of a rain shower. Finally, I wish that Barbour had equipped this jacket with that pocket under the storm flap right here, like the same pocket that is on the Beaufort. It would have allowed me to reach for the content of this pocket without having to open the jacket, but unfortunately, Barbour didn't add it. So, is this Barbour Bedale worth the money? Should you buy it in 2025, or why should you not buy it? Well, I bought it and I'm very happy about it, but I also bought it at a very discounted price. I needed a new Barbour jacket like I needed a hole in my head, but I was browsing the internet and I came across a British website that was selling exactly my size in the color I want, sage, at around $200. So I bought it and I'm very happy to have bought it. Should you buy it if this is your first or only Barbour jacket? That depends on you. It costs $415 in the US, and I think it's a great investment. These jackets last a lifetime. I actually have a Barbour Beaufort, which is 32 years old, which I've reviewed separately. And if you think about the longevity of these jackets and how many times you're going to be using them over the next 10, 15, 20 years, the cost per wear of these jackets is extremely low. And so I think that these jackets are a good buy, even at $415, especially because it's made in the UK, it's going to last a long time, it's very versatile. I think there are better buys for the price, still from Barbour. I think the Beaufort is a more versatile jacket than this, as I said. However, if you like a shorter, more casual jacket, this is definitely a great buy. I'm actually going to shoot a very in-depth review comparing the Bedale jacket with the Beaufort jacket and the Ashby jackets very soon. So I recommend you subscribe to the channel. And if you have comments about the Bedale jacket, if you own it and you like it, please let me know in the comments below. I hope to see you soon in the next video.